Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're filming today at Kirch Appliance, and later on in the show, we'll get to know some of the folks there. Right now, though, we're talking chiropractic, and with this is Dr. James Spennetta from Spennetta Family Care Chiropractic. Welcome back to Wisconsin Family.
Well, thank you for having me back.
So when we've chatted with you before, we've learned that you've done a lot of work with auto accidents and work-related injuries. That seems actually to be kind of your specialty, but that's not all that you've worked with. You have some interesting cases you can share with us?
Yep, I got a lot of interesting cases. One of my more interesting ones was actually a work injury. I had a construction worker who was working on a job site here in Madison, and a drill, a big power drill that they use, fell 10 stories and hit him on the head.
Oh my goodness.
So he was lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he was wearing his helmet, and I'm kind of glad that no one yelled, "Hey, look out," because he would have looked up and taken it in the face.
Yeah, good point.
But none of the other doctors he saw could ever provide him any kind of relief, but when he started with chiropractic, it was the only thing that was helping his headaches even a little bit. None of the medications were working. Chiropractic, he got some of the pressure off the nerves, and he started to feel better. Some of the other bizarre ones I've had had patients with bullets still lodged in them. In fact, one still had the bullet in his spine. Now, most chiropractors would be afraid to work on that, but I'm not afraid of the tougher cases. So I've taken on a lot of the tough cases like that.
Those are unique.
Yeah, I would say.
I had people with walkers able to walk again without them, so that was good. And elderly. Had a patient who had dizziness, positional vertigo, where she turns her head and the room starts to spin. But elderly, they're real prone to falling, so she was real panicky. So I did a thing called cannula repositioning. Her dizziness went away in one treatment, and the next morning when I showed up at the office, there were 3 elderly ladies all lined up waiting for me.
Word gets around, I guess.
Word gets around.
Fast, too.
So, I mean, do you treat a lot of elderly folks?
Yeah, I treat a lot of elderly folks. One of my favorite ones, the one girl was coming in, and she was probably in her 50s, and she brought in somebody who I thought was her mom, but was her grandmother.
Oh, okay.
This lady was in her late 90s, but still ran around acting like she was only 65 or 70, and you wouldn't know by looking at her. I'm like,
Right.
"What's your secret?" She goes, "I've been getting chiropractic my whole life."
Oh, that's
Oh,
your
wow.
new poster person.
Yeah, it's been a poster person.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that chiropractic really helps.
Yeah.
Keep you young and healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably kind of fun for you to, well, it's, I'm sure, so satisfying to make changes for people that are really, really meaningful, but also to have that variety, too.
Oh yeah, it's the little joys.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of little joys, I have heard of chiropractic for kiddos, even newborns. Wondering if you do any of that.
Well, my youngest patient was actually 2 weeks old.
Oh, gosh.
Colicky babies respond really well to chiropractic, and if you really want to make somebody happy, have them bring in their colicky child. Tiny little adjustment. I'm not twisting the head real hard. It's
Not putting them on the big table and
No,
pressing
I'm not
down
jumping
on
up and down on them, but just a little light pressure in a couple spots. The colic goes away, and the parents are super happy.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy, but it's hard to convince some people sometimes. I had one patient supposed to come in on a Saturday, but she didn't show up, and I called her and I said, "What's going on?" And she said, "Well, I can't make it in today because my son's got a 104-degree fever." And I'm like, and I knew that he was about 9 months old. I said, "Well, bring him in." And so she comes in with him. I said, "Can I just take a look at him?" And I felt his neck, and I'm like, "Well, the atlas is just out of place a little bit." Just a little tap with the finger, and the fever broke within like 3-4 minutes.
Really?
And she's like, "Oh, that's a good coincidence." I'm like, "What does it take to convince you people? Chiropractic works."
Coincidence. Wow. Wow. So I think that's a great testimonial, though. I mean, honestly, and we've used chiropractic for our kids in the past, and it's been good results. So it sounds like you do. I mean, you have you have a big scope of practice.
Yep. I like the car accidents, no work injuries, but I also like the little things, and I see miracles all the time. One of the big things that a lot of people say when they come in, they get treated for the first time. They've never been to a chiropractor. They're nervous. They're scared. But I adjust their neck, and the thing I hear the most often is, "Oh wow! I can't believe how much looser I feel."
You're like, "Could you say that again, please?"
And it's even for people that weren't coming in because they had a neck issue. It was, they had a low back issue. I'm like, well, I adjusted your back, but let's take a look at your neck anyway, even though it's not bothering you, and see if we can just give yourself a tune-up.
Wow.
So.
Very good, very good. You got so much that you do, and you help people, so many people, and you're very passionate about, you hate seeing people who are living in pain, because that's something that you kind of lived with for quite a while, and that's what brought you into the field. So
Yeah, I want to treat all my patients like family, so if I would do something for my mom, that's what I'm going to do for the patients.
Yeah.
And that's why people trust me. That's why I keep getting all the different awards and things, and
it's awesome.
I just love helping people.
We're so glad to have you on the program.
Well, thank you.
Alrighty. Well, Dr. James Spennetta, you can find him on Watts Road over by Woodman's West. I love your website name, or your I'mFeelingGood.com.
Yes. Feeling good.
You can check him out there as well. We'll be right back at Kirch Appliance here on Wisconsin Family.